Hi, Dreadlings. Today's video is kind of a follow-up off of my Get Ready With Me, but I just have a little extra energy. I've been sick recently. I've got COVID for a third time. Yippee. And I did my makeup because I wanted to feel good. It obviously turned out really good. It also looks really good in my glasses. I put some jewelry on, so it just felt a little more put together. But this is kind of like a reintroduction of a video that I did have up, but I didn't like it because I was so sick that you could barely hear me. But I'm just condensing it. So this is just basically introducing that for the year of 2026, I'm trying to focus on not constantly buying stuff. Now, it's not a low buy by any means. Well, it's not a no buy, it's a low buy. But I still have things that I'm going to want to buy, but I don't have nearly as much impulse issues as I used to have. It was really bad in 2020. It was when we had a first lockdown and stuff like that. I was just buying stuff because I needed to fuel something, anything. But that's calmed down a lot. But I still, I'm in debt. And so I kind of want to focus on trying to knock that down this year. And to start that, I just want to turn inwards and just use what I have. So this is going to be going over what I've picked out for me to use this month, including what I have on, and just maybe a little bit of general life stuff. So if you're interested, then we can go ahead and get started. I am starting this with kind of an update. So when I picked out all of this stuff when I was initially sick, well, not initially sick, but when I initially made the first video that got thrown out, I pulled out about 5 perfumes that I was I'm gonna use these this month, and we already have an empty. So this was from Scentbird because I had a Scentbird subscription, and I've used up a few of these now. But this most recent one is the Room 1015 Cherry Punk perfume. I really loved this. This is a really good scent. I was kind of bummed that it was the last one I used before my sense of smell just went out the window. It's finally starting to come back around. And since that's finished up, I decided to go ahead and roll in another Scentbird perfume. So I have that one right here. And this one is the Rag & Bone Oddity perfume. It's honestly one of my favorite ones that I've gotten thus far. And I'm just excited to kind of have this rolled in. Just try and use up this month. I'm not going, I want to preface, I'm not going into this with a distinct notion that I'm going to use everything up this month. I just want to use the things that I have in this bit of a journey of finding myself again, because I've been kind of lost. But there's some other perfumes that I've pulled, and I'm going to talk about those. The next one is one I used today because my beautiful friend Bree, aka Nightmare ASMR, gave me a tidbit that I can mix perfume oils in with my lotion, so I can get use out of these perfume oils that I have. And so today when I went out, yesterday, when I went to the store, I mixed in this lovely little perfume oil from Siren Song Elixirs from their Dragon Age collection, and this is the scent Lyrium Ghost. It's one of my favorites. I love Siren Song Elixirs. It's kind of the only indie brand I've ever picked up perfume from. and they do a really spectacular job with these. The scent notes on this one, I believe, are cool blue musk, mint, gardenia, white wine, and fresh rain. It just smells really good, and I just mixed it in with like my vanilla body butter. So it was just a really lovely scent. And these are just like the little 5mm sample bottles. I really wish I could get like the big bottles and a couple of the scents. I just don't have the money for it right now. So I'll enjoy my samples while I have them. The next perfume that I pulled is from the brand Mimic, and this is their Compound 57, which I believe is supposed to be kind of like a scent dupe for a Kayali perfume. But the notes state that it is a blend of pistachio and tonka woods. This is another perfume oil, but this is like a roller ball. And quite honestly, I kind of hate dealing with the roller balls. I will literally just dig them out if I can to get the product at the inside, because the roller balls don't really work. They get stuck weird. But it's a really good scent, so I'm looking forward to using that up. The next one, I bought the Billie Eilish holiday like perfume set that came with the 3 scents that are out. And I believe this is just the original one, which I do absolutely adore the scent of. I don't have the scent notes for everything pulled up with me because I don't have like the same apps across devices, and I didn't think to look things up before I started. So that's my bad. But I believe that one's like a vanilla. It's very sweet, but it's not like overbearingly sweet. And then the last perfume is kind of what I consider one of my benchmark perfumes. It's one that I compare the rest of like my perfumes with in terms of like where I rank it. And that would be the Versace Crystal Noir. It's like one of my favorites. Unfortunately, I can't really smell it right now. Not as strongly as I normally could because I'm still recovering, but it's been like one of my favorite perfumes that I've had in a while. And I don't know where it's been my entire life. It's been a difficult journey getting on this perfume road, but I'm so glad that I'm here. But now with all of the perfumes out of the way, I do have some other ones that are out. They weren't from this month. I believe I used them up in December. I kind of keep the empty bottles to like think about like talking about them. But I recently, like in the most recent couple months, I've also used up this entire bottle of Alt Crystal Smash, which is like a scent dupe that's inspired by Tom Ford's Lost Cherry and Baccarat Rouge. I really enjoyed this. I usually just spray stuff on and go to work because I like smelling good while I'm at work. And then I also... He's not up there. Oh, I don't have him pulled out, sorry. This is from another indie brand. I believe it's Black Rose Occult Apothecary. This is from their Love in Deep Space collection, and this is the Caleb perfume. I implore them to make bigger bottles because this was so good. This was phenomenal perfume. Mine did come kind of partially empty because the seal was broken, but I didn't mind it. There's still plenty in there for me to use, and I enjoyed using it. And when I have a little bit of extra money, I definitely will probably rebuy this. And I think what I'm gonna do is stuff that's like empty, I'm gonna put in here just to kind of keep visual track of when I use stuff up. But now that we're actually done with the perfumes, I apologize for the train. It's like 5 in the morning. I've been up all night. We're going to talk about the stuff that I've pulled out for makeup. It's all in this little bucket. And I'm not going to do it in any particular order. This does cover a lot of what I put on in my Get Ready With Me. So I'm just going to pull them out and talk about them. And kind of give you a rundown on why we're on this path. So I've always been very big with like makeup as like a form of self-expression. And it's been a way that I've coped with a lot of terrible things in my life and trying to navigate difficult emotions when I wasn't properly medicated and I wasn't able to get the help that I needed. But the last few years, especially the last 2 or so years, I have felt a complete and total disconnect with myself. And I still don't know exactly why it happened, not fully. I do know that a lot of it is like old repressed trauma that got dug up and a lot of other things. And just a lot of relationships gone wrong. And so I fell into a very deep depression and I spiraled really bad and I kind of just, it was bad. I mean, it's still bad. I'm still like trying to be like on the mend, but I'm in a better place now than I was. And I feel like that has been enough of a push for me to try to get back into it. But I struggle with the decision fatigue. And I do have a lot of products for like a single person. It's not like full of the room, but it's a lot for me. And I get overwhelmed. So by pulling things out to use and just sticking with that, I think will give me freedom to do what I want without that decision fatigue. So the first thing that's in this drawer is just something I'm trying to use up, is this Morphe Jumbo Continuous Setting Mist. It's a good setting spray. I think really any setting spray. I have 3. This is a good one. All of them are good in their own way. I prefer mattifying ones, but the Morphe one's pretty good. It's the first one I bought for myself. The next product was a bit of like a Christmas present to myself. I did a lot of that. And these are 4 shades from the Salt New York and Hannah Louise Poston collaboration. And I don't have access to the names of these, but these are just some really beautiful desaturated lip and cheek products. I did use this shade here as kind of I used it more like you would use a bronzer because it adds that flush of color to my face without it being orange. Because I don't really like bronzers. I don't like orange. I don't want to look orange. It doesn't look good on me. But it's also because through Hannah's content and like personal experience, I've discovered that I do fall under like the olive undertone category. And it has been such an eye-opener finding stuff that actually works, that also like caters to those olive undertones. Because otherwise I always look a little orange because the only other options I have is like getting warm foundations. And that's just not what I needed. The next thing in here was an impulse purchase that I do regret, but like I have it now, so I'm going to use it. And it's the Made by Mitchell color case and the Essentials. I use this. I just used the black to clean up my liner today. And like it works fine. I just think I bought it on impulse because I get that feeling of, oh, I have to have it sometimes. when I see something that's like multi-purpose, multifunctional, because I like simplifying things. Don't ever do that. It does not work out that way. The next thing is, despite its looks, it's a beloved palette of mine. This is the Lunatic Cosmetics Labs Pro Contour Palette, Volume 1. And it's just a face palette that has like contours and blushes. I really basically stick to the bottom half of this palette a lot when I do contours and blushes. This is for very specific looks, because that doesn't work for like every day. I used this one today for like some light contouring. But the powders are really smooth, and this is like an example of a thing that like it's been on my list for years, ever since I've heard about it. And then I finally bought it, and I'm happy that like even after years it's still something that like I truly love. Next thing, which honestly, it's kind of like the main piece of the show today. It's like the beautiful multi-chrome colors on my eyes came out of the Danessa Myricks Lightworks palette, Volume 5. And I used Powerful and Protected today. But I really love Powerful because it's like that black to red to purple multi-chrome that like I've just been obsessed with. And I know brands make like something similar to this, but I just want a single of just that and I'd be set. This has been a palette that I've debated on decluttering because I just wasn't into makeup like I was when I got it, and I just felt very overwhelmed by trying to choose. So, but this basically acts as like the only source of like multi-chrome or bright color that's in the drawer, and I think simplifying it in that way was really helped me, especially like today when I did my makeup, because I didn't have to worry about, oh, this isn't going to work with the other thing in the palette, because the other palette doesn't have anything like this in it. But this might stay in the collection. I'm not sure yet. And the other palette that I used today is the Nabla Cutie palette, and this is the nude version. And this is what she looks like. I basically used all the little latex matte shades, and I do love this formula. They all blended out really nice, and they were easy to work with. But I think having something like this and then pairing it with a more fun palette makes it a lot easier to just... I mean, it's probably going to create the same look over and over again, and it's okay to have signatures. But I think this little setup is really going to help me get back into the swing of things as far as like my makeup. The next thing, and this is a new thing to my collection, I bought the NARS Ultimate Blush Palette in number 2, which is all like the medium tan to deep shade friendly blushes. If I can get this open. This is what that looks like. I honestly bought it because I've always been obsessed with Exhibit A, which is like that red blush there. But I also do like this color. I believe it's called Teased. I really do like that color, and I can't wait to play with it. The next thing, this beautiful highlighter that I have on that I'm obsessed with, I didn't know it was going to be until like I put it on, is the Kaleidos Space Age Prophecy highlighter. I have 2 other Kaleidos ones, but this is just the one I pulled out for this month. And it's very loud. It's very much in your face. It's going to grab attention. And I don't regret putting this in there because I just wanted something fun. If I didn't like the eye look, I wanted something to look, but I overall like the entire look that I did today. But that highlighter, whoa, it's beautiful. Next is the base of choice today. I made a mess because these are just samples. And this is from the People of Earth, and this is the face base samples. And like obviously I've been using it. I do like the formula on this. I just think I happened to be mixing like the wrong colors. Because they were so close together, it was really kind of hard to avoid. But I still do think overall, like, think I did a good job with like keeping it color matched to me. I mixed in the shade 6 Warm Olive, 6 Neutral, and 5 Warm Olive. And I think a little bit of 6 Warm got in there. But like this is just a really lovely product that I got samples of a while back, and I finally got around to using them. And they're really good. So I'm not disappointed in that purchase. The next thing, and this isn't lipstick that I have on today, is the Revlon Super Lustrous Cream Lipstick in Vampire Love. I have a lipstick that I absolutely adore that obviously isn't made anymore, and it's the Kat Von D Studded Kiss Cream Lipstick in Nosferatu. I've been on a hunt for like a similar shade to that because that is like one of my all-time favorite red lipsticks. Because a lot of people who know me, I love a good red lipstick, but it's hard to find them. It's hard to find reds that actually look good on me because some of them are just like way too bright or they pull way too much one way. But Nosferatu was like dead on perfect. And I think this is relatively close. I think the lip liner that I have on helped it get a little closer, but I don't hate it. It's a really pretty lipstick. And then obviously I have like my only 2 eye primers in here. And this is the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion in Eden. I stand by this. This is just a really good eyeshadow base. And I use it all the time. I had to buy a new one because I ran out, and that's my new one. Next is my mascara, which is the Maybelline Lash Sensational Sky High in Cosmic Black. I literally just use mascara to darken my lashes. I am blessed to have long enough lashes that they don't really need any help. I don't need them to sit up and be pretty. I just like painting them so that the rest of the look looks cohesive. I put 2 face powders in here. One's a pressed and one's a loose. This is the NYX HD Finishing Powder in Banana. It's one of my favorite pressed powders. This is obviously like a new one. I've hit pan on one before, and so I bought this a while back. And then I have the Milk Makeup Pore Eclipse translucent loose setting powder in translucent medium. I used that all over the face today, and it also does a really good job. I honestly think I get pretty lucky when I buy stuff because like everything doesn't always agree, but for me a lot of my stuff has been agreeing with me lately, and it's always a blessing to not have any makeup problems when you're already having a bad day. Then I have 2 things from Tier here. I have the Tier Glide and Hide Blurring Concealer in 7 Neutral. I used this side today, but I've used this before. This is actually a really good concealer. And then I have the Tier Mask Fit Red Cushion in 33 Neutral Macchiato. Perfect shade match. it's very full coverage. And so this is definitely one where I would have to probably blend it down my neck and in my chest a little bit so that everything looked a little cohesive. I don't think I could get away with just keeping it on my face like I could with the People of Earth one, because I don't always bring it all the way down here. I usually like to keep things up here because I don't particularly care if there's a stark difference unless it's super noticeable. But I did do a test wear of this and it was just phenomenal. And then we'll go ahead and get these other things out of the way. This is just a little sample of the Milk Pore Eclipse Primer. I used it today. I think it's actually empty because there wasn't a whole lot in there. Yeah, this is empty. Okay, so I emptied this out today. So far, I think it's holding up pretty well. But obviously you can't really tell with just like little samples if it's gonna do what it needs to do. But I do have I have 2 other primers that I can pull in, and I might pull in the one that I'm assuming is the dupe for it from e.l.f., but I don't know yet. I do have the Inglot Duraline. I did put it in there in case the Made by Mitchell color case was a little too dry. And then I have another liner in here that has liners that tend to dry out, and I just use that to rehydrate them to use them. And then this is the Pat McGrath Intensifies Artistry one, is what I use to make sure that those multi-chromes and sparkly shades stick to my eyes. It's really good. You don't have to get that. There's good products that do that. That's just the one I have. Gotta do more. Gotta do more. Okay, we're gonna do it this way. Sorry. So I'm getting the rest of just eye and face before we round up with the lips. I have this. This is the Nadesimeryx Dew Wet Balm. It's the clear one. I put this in because sometimes I want a highlighted look but without the obvious color, and this is just a really good way to do that for me. It does stick, but I don't have hair like I used to anymore, so I don't have to worry about stuff sticking to my face. The next is just my tight lining pencil. This is the one by Pixi. It's just a black. I literally just go in and I toss it in my waterline. This is the first one that's actually stayed and didn't transfer. It's great. That's all I gotta say. And then this is a little special thing. This is a custom mixed shadow that I did by just Frankensteining some of my shadows together to make the color. To make the color from the Baldur's Gate 3 game Justiciar. I pulled it out because I just want to use that again. Because it's a really pretty, dusty purple shade. It's really good. I have an eyeshadow single here from Urban Decay. And this is in Rundown, which is like a mustard yellow. I pulled that in case I wanted something a little warmer to toss in to the eye, because the Nabla Cutie palette does lean a little bit cool toned, but it's not a big deal. And then these are the 2 gel liners that I have popped in. They're from Hollow Grave Cosmetics. I have the colors Autopsy, which is like a red-orange color here. And then I have Blood Spill, which is like a blood red. I can show you what I'm talking about, they dried up. This one is very dried up, but if I put the Inglot Duraline in there, it hydrates up and works just fine. And now we're gonna get into the last of the stuff that's in this drawer, which is more lip products. The aforementioned Nosferatu is here, and it's casing. It's still going strong. I've had this for years now. I just adore this lipstick, and I'm so bummed that it's gone. The next thing is I have this Girl Cult lip gloss. I don't remember the exact name, but I call it like my little oil spill or pigeon feathers lip gloss. And it's one of my absolute favorites because I'm a sucker for like a good odd colored lip. When I was younger, I had this full coverage silver lip gloss that I just adored. And I've been chasing that high ever since. I know there's brands that have like metallic lipsticks and stuff like that. And I want to see more of that for me personally, because that's my lane. That's my speed. I need it. The next, I have this Kaleidos Cloud Lab Lip Clay in Agave. I'm obsessed with this kind of color on me. This isn't like the correct look for this color, but I got plans for this. And then I have the MAC Maximalist Sleek Satin Lip in Cyber, which is like that deep purple shade. I just absolutely love it. I love me a good vampy lip. What can I say? Being goth has its perks. I love good vampy lip. It makes or breaks the look sometimes. And then I have two MAC lip pencils here. I have Night Moth and Root for Me. And I want to say I used Root for Me. No, I didn't. Did I? I don't remember which one I used. I think I used Night Moth to align my lips for the other lipstick today. These are just really pretty, really smooth lip pencils. And then the last lipstick that's in this drawer was another thing I bought myself for Christmas. And this is the Dior Sequin Liquid Duo in 905, and it's like that brown shade. It was beautiful. I couldn't take my eyes off of it when I saw it. I thought I was gonna get the red, but that red was one of those too red kind of situations on me. So going for the brown was like the best bet, and I don't regret it. I need them to keep this out forever because I know I'm gonna wear this and it's gonna get empty, and then I'm gonna be sad that I can't get it anymore because it's just a beautiful shade. It's beautiful. And while I'm putting the stuff back in the drawer, just for a bit of clarity's sake, like my debt situation, it is entirely like my fault. I was clear for a short time, but you know, life like has a way of like ruining that for you. And I ended up spiraling deeper into debt, trying to clean up my debt. And so it has put me at this stage in my life where I'm in the trenches. I'm in the trenches. I'm pretty sure at this point I'm close to like $15,000 in debt. It's like student loans, the personal loan I took out to pay my credit cards off. I have to pay that back on top of all the credit card debt that I paid off with that because that all came back. It's a mess. But I'm really determined to really work on that this year because I would like to have a little bit more financial freedom for the things that like I want to do. Like this year I would like to meet up with my girlfriend for like the first time ever. We've been talking on and off for 3 years, and we finally decided, hey, let's get together. And I would like to have the money to go see them, because that's something I'm looking forward to. I'd like to just have money to go do more things, have more experiences, because I'm tired of being cooped up in my house. It'd just be nice to not have to worry about money. So, and I'm trying to get into a better place so that I can actually take care of myself, because I feel kind of like I've been like loose trash fluttering in the wind the last couple of years, and trying to pick myself back up has been the hardest thing that I've had to do, but I'm trying. And I think what's really helped is that I do have a very strong set of friends that I can go to when I'm struggling. And that's just something like you can never really be thankful enough for. And I'm so grateful to have those people in my life, and I'm so grateful to be able to just really kind of take the mask off, because life is so difficult, especially when you do a lot of like front facing things. I work housekeeping, so a lot of the times I do have to interact with customers if they come to the door, when I do like see if they need anything. And just the general front facing I do when I'm in public, because it just kind of automatically happens. So being able to not have to do that around my friends is so refreshing. But it's had its detriments in that it's really hard to put the mask on once you've had it off for so long. And it's caused a lot more problems than it absolutely needs, but I wouldn't regret it for anything in the world. As far as my next video goes, I don't really have anything particularly in mind. I was thinking about doing a what's cheering me up kind of video, and talking about like things I'm looking forward to like getting, that like I've bought before this year started, or just things in general that have been like cheering me up, because I think everyone could it's like everyone deserves to have little joys, you know what I mean? But anyways, I want to thank you so much for watching, my dear dreadlings, and I will see you in the next video.